Hi, everyone.
Hello and welcome, welcome. I see I still don't have a live. All right, you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Water Riff Radio, where we dive deep into the currents of water, health, and consciousness. I am Amanda White, and this is the beautiful.
Jill Marie, hello.
And you know that moment that you're running errands, you're getting things done, maybe rushing in between places, so busy, but you're so thirsty that you just grab a bottled water. It feels safe, pure, simple. The label says Mountain Spring. The bottle shines with a blue wave and a message that is clear: purity in a plastic bottle. But what if that sip you trust the most, that one that promises health, vitality, hydration, was quietly poisoning you? Hmm. So we are going to explore the unseen label layers of our health, energy, and environment. Today, we're peeling back the label on one of the most accepted modern deceptions, the bottled water illusion. So we are going to go into what is really pure. Miss Jill, take it away.
Here we go. The psychology of pure. And again, it's marketing. Like who doesn't completely trust marketing? You know, that's been a long time coming. Anyway, the bottled water industry isn't just selling hydration, they're selling trust. And from the very beginning, bottled water companies sorry, bottled water companies understood something very, very powerful. We don't want to just drink water. We want to feel safe. We want to know that we're making a good choice for our families and for ourselves when we're out, definitely. So they've painted pictures of untouched mountain springs, snow caps, and crystal lakes. Sorry, I got distracted by the comments. Um, 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 um. Every label, every ad, every word was crafted to evoke trust, serenity, and health. I mean, look at the commercials we see. Look at the labels on the bottles of water that we purchase. And some are, spring water, some are alkaline water. They all have some sort of marketing wording that we are drawn to. Here's the truth that most people never stop to check. Roughly 60% of the bottled water doesn't come from mountain springs at all. It comes from municipal water supplies. The same tap water that you have in your home, simply filtered, sometimes barely bottled and sold back to you at thousands of times the cost. And I would love to put this out there. If you ever get a chance to watch the documentary Tapped, TAPPED, it's all on the bottled water industry. And it's again not to put fear inside of you, but it's to understand just the different marketing of this water and where it's actually coming from. We all I won't go into that right now. As you know, it goes much deeper than that. So we've been conditioned to equate clarity with cleanliness, to believe that if water looks clear, it is pure. But clarity just doesn't mean purity. It means that we just can't see what's inside. It's kind of like going to a pristine part of the world where even in the blue zones where the water is crystal clear and you feel like it's 2 feet deep, but it's actually hundreds of feet deep and you can see the bottom. It doesn't mean that it's clean. It doesn't mean that it's pure. There are still microbiologicals in there that can be quite dangerous for us to ingest. So that's what we're kind of looking at here. So what's actually swimming beneath that glossy label? We're drumming today. I like that.
Got a lot of puns and everything in here. It's good times. So the truth about your bottled water lies in the fine print, or maybe not even there at all, right? We thought water was just water, right? It shouldn't have a freaking label, but it does now. All right, so let's break it down. And once you understand really what's inside that bottle, you'll never look at that little plastic thing again the same way.
Mm.
You've got, what do you think is in your water? Drop it in the comments. We would love to hear what you think is actually in your bottled water.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Jill actually just kind of ran down where that water actually comes from. It's not necessarily clean. It's coming from your municipal.
Or
So what do
even,
you
yeah,
think?
filtered. What is the name of the bottled water that you prefer? I would like to know that too, because that depends on where it's coming from. Mm.
At one point in time, I thought, oh, I got the best bottled water yet. I was showing it. It was great. And then I learned all this and I went down rabbit holes. Wow. Yes. All right. So number one, your answers, are they in the comments?
Not yet.
Okay. Microplastics, which is a given, right? And recent studies are showing, there's a few studies, the WHO and the Orb Media found microplastics in over 93% of the bottled waters tested worldwide. 93% microplastics in there. And I know this is, and by the time that bottled water, by the time that water bottle hits the shelves that you see in stores, it's already been bottled for at least 8 or 9 months. I always say a few years, especially now that you grab the bottled waters at the store, they're all flimsy and like they can't even hold a squeeze, which is crazy.
They crinkle.
They do crinkle now. Yep, that's the thing. It's crazy. All right, sorry. So these tiny little plastic fibers shed from the bottle itself, and even the cap that you twist off. Like every time you twist, a microplastic fragment comes off. And these fibers make their way into your bloodstream, your organs, your brain, which causes a lot of dis-ease, and they're even being found in placenta tissue now. Mind blown. Plastic breaks down and it breaks into you and it gets stuck in your body, and that's just nutso. and then and then you also have the chemical leaching, right? From the bottle. You don't even know what's leaking from that bottle. But plastic bottles are made with so many different things, with compounds like BPAs, BPSs, and
bees. All the bees.
yes,
I don't feel so bad when my mouth doesn't work.
And these are all endocrine disruptors. Jill and I have done so many classes about these chemicals and what they can actually do to your body, right? These chemicals mimic estrogen in your body, throwing your hormones off, fertility, your mood, or if you're riding a roller coaster, check your bottle. If you're having a hard time getting pregnant, check your bottle. And when these bottles, and guilty of this when I was younger, 100%, when these bottles sit, when they sit in the house, when they sit in the sun, when they sit in your car, when they sit, you're storing it like on the floor. That's a thing. When they're being stored in warehouses, everything is leaching, and that accelerates the leach process. So by the time you think you're taking a refreshing sip, you're drinking a cocktail of hormone disruptors. Crazy. Everything, just change your water, see what changes. That's the best advice I can give. And then you have your storage.
No, I totally agree with you.
And then you have, I guess I kind of already went into this, but because I'm so like, your storage stagnation. Bottled water can sit in warehouses, trucks, shelves for months, if not years, or many years. During that time, it absorbs everything. Your carbon dioxide, it loses its life structure, if it had any structure at all. And energetically, it dies. And you cannot.
Sorry, there is a reason that for those of you that buy things in like dark bottles or blue bottles, and they say keep in a dark place glass bottles, there's a reason for that. So consider that when you're buying plastic and storing it. Even in a dark place, it still leaches.
100%. And, you know, we're not there yet, but a quick change would be buy darker glass bottles to store things in, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And again, water isn't meant to be stagnant. We see what ponds and lakes do when it's stagnant, right? That's not what water is meant to do. It is meant to flow and to carry information. Like we just did a class on the structure of water and how love and hate really structure the water we're drinking. So that would be a class to check out too. And if you're interested in that, let us know. We'll drop the link below. And then your next one is going to be your heavy metal and contaminants. So this is where your illusion deepers. This is where the illusion deepens, right? Some bottled water brands have tested positive for arsenic, PFAs, and nitrate.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Nitrates.
be very, very careful with what you're purchasing. Like, even for me, man, I'm trying to remember the water I was actually drinking at that point. But it came from the purest of pure lands, and come to find out, like it was still bottled.
Mm.
So the plastics, the leaching, everything was in that. And then Lord knows if I really did the research to find out what else was in there. So your labeling loopholes allow these contaminants under a so-called acceptable limit. But acceptable to whom is what we ask. To corporations, perhaps, maybe, but not the human cells that actually need living water to hydrate themselves.
Mm.
So just.
And legal is not necessarily safe, just so you know.
And that we've touched upon in our EWG class. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's safe for you or any of us. And I was going to go into something extremely deep, but I'm like, thank you for doing that, because it totally cut that off for me.
Oh,
so we've
no,
been
go
sold.
Deep. Go deep.
I was going to take it in a whole tangent about trusting and what we can trust, but we've sold security in a single package use. I'm just going to leave it there. So Ms. Jill is going to talk about the energy of water and what that really means. We're going to give you a short snippet here because I know we did a whole class on this a few weeks back. So take it away.
Oh, yeah. And if you feel called to share, do. You're meant to do that. But it kind of takes us into water is alive. We have living water and we have dead water. Another episode that we've done on, living water that's out and about in nature, and we have dead water that we have stripped of everything. So you're looking at like RO or distilled water. And again, this is not like good and bad, blah blah blah. It's just educating on the differences of the water. But any water that we're putting in our body, on our body, or cooking with should be living. We are living. We are made of living water. So let's just stop beyond the chemical for a moment and talk about the energetics. You remember Dr. Masaru Emoto. His research shows us that water responds to intention, vibration, even emotion. And this was huge for me when I started into understanding and playing and using energetics. This was huge for me. There's an energy modality called balance by numbers where everything has a frequency, everything, even down to your thoughts. And you can write that frequency on your bottle of water, and it will infuse that into your brain. It's so amazing. But Dr. Masaru Emoto, when he exposed water to words like love or gratitude, these frozen crystals formed stunning geometric beauty. Absolutely amazing. And you've heard no two snowflakes are the same. no two of our fingerprints are the same either. We are water. We are water. And when we are exposed to hate or fear, our energetic frequencies change as well. I'm sure you can feel that when you're around certain people and you just feel uplifted, you feel gratitude, you feel joy, you feel like, gosh, you could spend the rest of your life with this person. I'm being dramatic, but you know what I'm saying. And you have other people that come into the circle, even walk into the room, and you're just like, whoo, I felt that. Or you're talking to them and they just start draining your energy without you even saying anything. This is the energetics that you're feeling. And if you let your body feel that and you're conscious of it, you can actually move through a lot of this a lot easier. We can I'm getting very off topic. But I mean, we are water. So whatever words we are thinking or we're reading, like this is where marketing comes in huge, huge. We see purity, we see a beautiful label. You know, when you look at marketing, colors mean a lot, words, fonts, everything. I mean, look at social media and the algorithm. I hate that word, algorithm. It's all about the algorithm. It's literally the rhythm to which our brains are attuning to the words, the colors, and everything. And when we don't stop and we're not conscious of the underlying beliefs of this, I didn't know quite how to say that. Like we can find ourselves drinking, eating, doing things that we wouldn't have normally chose with the proper wording, if that makes sense. So dead water does not hydrate your body or your soul. It doesn't. And it's kind of like pouring oil onto your body. Like your cells can't even absorb it because the molecules are too big. That's just what dead water is. When you start drinking or bathing in living structured water, it literally blows those molecules and it explodes them, excuse me, not blows them. Who's ever watching this today, I hope you're getting a big kick out of this, but it explodes those into the smallest of structures so that they can be absorbed through our cells. No matter what we're going through, it can be absorbed. But what happens is our energy rises, our cells open, and clarity sharpens. And this is the water that your body recognizes, not stagnation. And when you start like feeling that, that's why Amanda and I both, we do water shares all the time, because even if you have a couple of gallons of living water to drink off of, that's not even including bathing, but drinking. I've seen people actually feel a little buzz. They're like, oh my God, I feel so good. I feel like this tingling in my body. And I've had to laugh about it. I'm like, no, you're just being dramatic. And they're like, no, like I feel this in my body.
I've had that a few different times this week. They're like,
Yeah.
holy moly, like this is clean, this is pure. And I'm like, of course it is. And we're not used to getting that. And they're like, can I have another glass? I'm like, 100%, because you're actually hydrating it. You feel the difference.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I got goosebumps down my legs here. But your body recognizes it and it knows, your body knows what it needs. However, your mind keeps telling your body what to do instead of us feeling what our body needs and letting our mind, changing our mind. So let's move on to the environmental and ethical cost of this.
Oh, goodness. I could go on for days here, days and days. So each bottle carries a bigger story, not just what's inside, but what's left behind. I cannot stress this enough. Every minute, the world buys over 1 million plastic bottles. That's mind blowing. Could you imagine what that's doing to our planet? Because I can guarantee not everything gets recycled. And if you know anything about recycling, we know that's kind of a scam in and of itself, right? So 9% statistically, we're getting recycled. But what about the rest? 9%. That's not even close to being half. So where do they end up? We've all seen it. In the streets, the landfills, the oceans, burned, which does completely different things to the air and puts other toxins in there, right? Releasing that into the air we breathe. So not just bottled and plastic toxins and world pollution, but now it's in the air. So to make those bottles, the industry burns through 17 million barrels of oil every year. That's enough to fuel over 1 million cars. Let that sink in for a second. I'm going to read that one more time. To make these bottles, the industry burns through 17 million barrels of oil each year.
Because you know how much oil it takes to make a plastic water bottle? Takes a gallon of oil to 4 gallons of water. And so you're just holding your water in an oil-based container, petroleum-based. Okay, moving on.
See, planet. So most, and again, I guess myself included in this, like most people bought bottled water because it was healthier and to avoid pollution. But every purchase adds to the problem. And think about all those water bottles. Like we're polluting things that should never really be polluted. Like this world has to last. We need to take care of our Mother Earth. So if water is sacred, which it is, and how we treat it reflects how we treat life itself. So ponder that. Like water is so sacred because without it, we wouldn't be here. Nothing would be here. So just how we treat it reflects how we treat life itself. So Miss Jill, take our next session away.
Ooh. The definition of pure. You know, you can also take this down to, this just came up for me. The legal jargon of what we can put on advertising and what we cannot. And the word purity just came to mind here. Purity isn't something you can buy in a bottle. It's something you create, restore, and bless. True purity isn't just the absence of toxins, it's the presence of vitality. It's about restoring life, frequency, minerals, and structure. So just in our group or page, excuse me, PureWaterStream, for me to put pure in there, it was my intention of pureness, of the absence of toxins, not the absence of minerals or anything like that, but true purity. Legally, I probably shouldn't have that on there because of what it means in the books. The intention of what it means to me was, again, absence of toxins and true living water. But it's just a matter of, you can have it on the label, but look, be conscious, be educated about what you're putting in your body. Quite honestly, even with, I'm not going to go down this road, but shots, vaccines, things like that, would you put something in your body that if you had an adverse reaction, you couldn't pull it out? Regardless of which way you think about that, like, would you put anything in your body knowing you would have an adverse reaction? Most of us, no. Most of us, well, if I do, I do, I write it out. But same with water. It's just the toxins included in there. We could have an adverse reaction. And thank God water will go through the system pretty quickly. But the behavior of keep drinking it, yes, those things will eventually build up. So what we can do to start reclaiming it, ditch the disposables, say no to single-use plastic, and choose glass or stainless steel. I know it's a pain in the butt to keep washing them or, worry about that. But the impact that it provides for us is, I mean, you
And our
just
planet.
can't.
Our
Yeah,
planet's begging you.
yeah. Filter with intention. Use a high quality home system like PureWays to remove contaminants and preserve minerals. We can remove everything and not worry about it, but that's just not being educated. We need the minerals. Our body needs those back. So looking into a filtration system, just like PureWays, something proprietary, is a great it's a great start because you have it from every tap in your home and you don't have to sit there and worry about, oh, well, I'm drinking this water, but now I'm going to go take a bath in chlorine. The third one is remineralize and revitalize. If your water, if you have a system that's RO, or if your bottled water is filtered through RO, mind you, they've put back minerals synthetically. They're not natural. Find minerals that are natural. Structure your water with movement, sound, sunlight, or gratitude. There are so many systems out there, little ones that you can utilize and big ones. I love all that. I love all of that. However, and I think Amanda, you would probably agree 100%. It begins with just clean, toxic-free water in the home. Then we worry about structuring, because if you're doing it like layering, let's remove the toxins. Now I want structured water. Now I'm going to have this. Like, you would be mind blown at how much better that you would feel.
What all you could do.
Oh my gosh.
Everything you can cut out.
Right. How much money you could save. Like, that's the big one, isn't it? I just don't have the money to make these changes. It's so costly to be healthy. We don't buy organic food because it costs more. But guess what? When you buy organic food, you're not as hungry. You don't eat as much. You're getting the vital nutrition that you need. So you're not, when you're eating I almost said a bottle of potato chip. When you're eating a bag of potato chips, it makes you more hungry. It keeps you eating and eating and eating and eating.
Which
Another rabbit hole. What were you going to say?
I said that's their whole plan.
Yeah.
I was going to say something along while we're on the topic, if you think it's expensive, write down weekly what you spend at the store on cleaning supplies, water bottles, water jugs, anything that, laundry detergent, dish soap, like all the things. Take a running list of what you spend weekly there.
Bleach.
And then add that up each month and then come talk to us, because you'll be like, oh my goodness, yes, you are saving me money.
Oh my gosh. I can guarantee we can save you so much money. It's not funny. It rhymed.
And give you the peace of mind that it is purer and cleaner.
So the force be with you. The fourth one is bless your water and speak life into it. Hold your glass and say thank you. We had this we just talked about the gratitude challenge that we did. Oh my gosh. When you actually wrap your hands around your water, I think I mentioned this in another episode as well. You can actually change the taste of your water. You can change the taste of anything that you're actually drinking with intention. Holding your glass of water and just being grateful for it, having gratitude, the vibration shifts everything totally. The cleanest water is the one that you've taken responsibility for. I love, love, love this quote. I so agree. It's like when you're doing the thing, it means so much more. When you're allowing other people to make your decisions of the water that's coming into your home and the water that you're cooking in, it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't have the same vibration as when you get to choose and you get to make the choice for you and your family. So let's wrap it up.
So the next time you twist open that plastic cap, pause, ask yourself, who told me this was pure? Look at the label. What does it say on it? Maybe do a little research for yourself. Or maybe come to us and be like, this is the water I drink. Can you tell me more about it? And we would love to do that. We've been deceived into believing convenience equals care. Myself was included. I remember growing up and it was like, oh my God, look at all the things they're doing for us. They're making everything so quick and convenient. And then you get older and you realize that wasn't for you.
Mm.
That's just another way that, let me keep my beliefs, hold on. It's just another way they can cut us down a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Because you look at other countries, their ingredients are fairly clean. And then you come to the US, same stuff, crappier. And the lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
But real purity begins with your awareness, with awareness. So if you're ready to discover what's really in your water, schedule an appointment with Jill and I. Let's go down some water rabbit holes and let's bring life back to your water and clarity back to your health. And if this conversation really opened your mind and your eyes and you're like, oh my goodness, share it, right? Be the ripple that wakes someone else up for this. Because we are here educating you. We go down some water rabbit holes and we want to share that because we're not educated on this. Like Jill and I say in every episode, this isn't about scaring you. It's about bringing awareness to topics that were never taught about. And this one's just getting worse and worse. And this is something we need to live. So it's time that we stood in our power and took things back a little at a time. And clean water is probably one of the most important.
Oh, it's the largest commodity out there at this time.
Yes, it is. And just remember, water remembers everything. Bless it. Take pride in it. Fuel your body properly. And choose your truth and purity over convenience. We would love for you to share some takeaways down below. And we look forward to being your water educators. We will have a bye week next week. We will not be here, but the following week we will be ready, back, and returning to kick some rear end. Miss Jill, you have anything else to tell these amazing humans?
No, just in the meantime, reach out with anything and we'll keep you posted on upcoming topics. I can't wait.
And until then, make sure your water is clean and pure. And if you do need help, reach out to us. We have some water share maps that we could get you tasting and trying the water.
Absolutely. So we will see you in 2 weeks, and I hope you have an amazing 2 weeks ahead.